love concerts.
Now, Matt's hair's been raised even more than usual on the set of a new horror movie filmed in Cardiff. Yeah, you better believe it. And the Cardiff singer-songwriter Jonathan Powell, who's also written songs for Charlotte Church's latest album, is in the recording studio. And Charlotte, of course, was a judge on the programme, which brought tonight's guest talents to the attention of Andrew Lloyd Webber. We are over the moon, as well as the rainbow, to have Sophie Evans with us. Great to see you. Welcome. Welcome to the Welsh Show.
Thank you very much.
And things have just gone stellar for you, haven't they? I mean, you know, it's just gone from being auditioning for a reality TV show to now you're going to be performing in the West End.
Yes, it has gone very quick as well, I must say. The auditioning process started in January, which is nearly a year ago, which is crazy. I can't believe how quickly it's gone. But it's been amazing as well. Wouldn't change a thing.
Are you pinching yourself all the time?
Yeah, sometimes, because so much has happened. I have to sit down and think, I'm actually doing this. I'm actually going to be performing on the West End, and it's mad.
Living the dream. Well, listen, we've got so much we want to talk to you about. It's really, really exciting. We're thrilled that you're here with us. You're so great. Anyway, you are not a wuss. You are about to take to the stage of the London Palladium, which is extraordinary. Over the Rainbow, you're going to be performing this alongside Danielle, who was one of the competitors in Over the Rainbow that you're competing in, yeah? Yeah,
so I get to do one performance a week, which is every Tuesday, which I think is brilliant, and I think it's a great way for me to start off. I think if I was thrown in the deep end and had to do 8 shows a week...
It's a lot to do, isn't it?
Yeah, I think I probably would have coped with it because I would have had to, but I don't know how well I would have coped with that.
You would have coped with it beautifully, because we're going to hear from you in just a second singing that wonderful song, the iconic song Over the Rainbow, and then we're going to see whether it still sends shivers up your spine. Let's listen. It's fair to say a fairly appreciative audience there. Not as big as the Palladium, but appreciative.
Not quite, but they were brilliant.
When did you first discover you had a voice like that?
I don't know when I first discovered it, but my mother always tells me that from the age of about 3, she knew that I had something special. And I've seen videos when I was 3 years old singing, you know, Celine Dion classics and things like that. So I've always wanted to sing.
Oh, that burning ambition, what, to do West End or just to sing? I mean, how did it manifest itself?
I think first of all it was just I knew I could sing and I enjoyed making, you know, beautiful sounds. But then I started doing amateur dramatics and getting into these shows, and then I decided I want to be on the West End, because the reaction I had just in my local theatre was something to send shivers up my spine. So I can't imagine what it's going to be like in the Palladium.
It's going to be extraordinary, particularly singing that song. I mean, it'll make the hairs on the back of your neck stand out, won't it?
Yeah, it's an absolutely beautiful and iconic song, so I feel privileged to, you know, be singing it. It's the first time The Wizard of Oz has been put on as a big scale production, so it is a moment of history I'm going to be making there, I think.
Yeah, fantastic. And you're a Welsh girl doing it. It's brilliant. Let's talk about the process that got you there, the whole sort of Over the Rainbow thing. I mean, was that the first time you'd gone for something at a professional level like that? I mean, what made you decide to do it?
Well, I've always watched the shows, you know, the Nancy show, the Maria show, and really enjoyed watching them and seeing all the contestants grow, and because they were doing something that I'd love to do, but I was always too young to enter and things. So as soon as, well, my mother found out that Dorothy was coming along, we just knew that was the part that I knew I could play. I thought I can do Dorothy. It's a really good part for me. So my mother heard on Elaine Page on Sunday on Radio 2 that Andrew was looking for Dorothy, and we just went along to the auditions, not expecting too much, because I try not to build myself up too much for a big fall, but it just roller coastered on from there, and everything was just fantastic.
Is that how it felt, like a roller coaster? I mean, because you seem to go through it pretty seamlessly. Is that how it felt at the time?
Yeah, it did, because the first audition was January, but then the next one was a month later, which was a bit of a gap, and I couldn't tell anybody, which was so hard. But from February onwards, it was pretty much every other weekend was the next audition, the next round. And before I knew it, I was in front of 5 to 7 million people live on, you know, BBC One.
And could you believe that you were getting through every time? I mean, always say that sense of confidence, because you really did believe this is my role.
Yeah, at first it was just a bit of a shock, because seeing all the thousands of girls in Cardiff auditioning for this part, I just thought, well, you know, it's just going to be lucky if I get through. But then, obviously, they saw the talent that I thought I had. And by the time the live stages came, I thought, right, I can do this now. I've got to really work hard and really believe in myself. And I think that's what helped me get through each week.
Ain't that the truth? Well, it was wonderful to see you do it. We're going to talk much more about it. Don't go away. Stay right there. Stay there, Sophie Evans. And we need you to stay with us too, because we'll be hearing much more from Sophie in part 2, including being mentored by the Lord himself. Lovely. Welcome back. Jonathan Powell's in the recording studio this week. He's Charlotte Church's co-writer, of course, but also a very talented performer in his own right. And Sophie Evans is still with us, the songbird from Tonopandi, who's being fitted for ruby slippers by Sir Andrew Lloyd Webber almost as we speak. Have you had the fitting for them yet?
Not yet, but in the next couple of weeks I know my costume fitting's coming along. And I haven't put on a pair of ruby slippers yet, so that's going to be a very big moment, I think.
Absolutely. Have you got any sort of say in the design of them? I mean, in terms of whether, you know, you want them to be Jimmy Choos or Manolo Blahniks or anything like that?
No, unfortunately not. But I know that they're going to be beautiful. They're going to be very special.
Yeah.
Because obviously Dorothy's known for the ruby slippers.
Yeah, pulling those on, it'll be almost like you're stepping right into the character, aren't you?
Yeah, it'll help me even more to get into Dorothy's, you know, mindset and everything.
What will your family think, you know, when you do that? Because I mean, they must be so proud. But I mean, that's the point where it's the realisation of the dream, isn't it?
Yeah. I know how supportive my family are, and I can't wait to give them that thrill of watching me on that stage, putting on the ruby slippers and, you know, clicking my heels together. I think, you know, they'll feel just as, you know, thrilled as I do.
Have you practiced any of that yet, the clicking together of the heels?
We had to do it a few times on the show, so, you know, I've had a bit of practice.
Yeah, absolutely. Talking about being supportive, I know you've got huge support from Andrew Lloyd Webber himself, because I know he's been instrumental in getting you onto this arts educational course that you're doing, the training. Supportive all the way. Let's have a little listen to him about what he thinks about you.
I kept thinking to myself, do you know what? We're very lucky. Danielle is a very, very talented girl, as is Sophie. And I thought, you know, this is obvious. We had problems because when Connie got sick, Connie Fisher, that is, in The Sound of Music, I mean, people were very, very disappointed. I thought, why did I not do then what I'm doing now, which is to take, you know, the girl who came second, and this was pretty close this time around, and offer a show a week, and thus give, you know, the girl. I mean, we're talking about an 18-year-old kid with Danielle, a 17-year-old here. Yeah. I think it's a good idea.
It is a no-brainer, really, isn't it? The problems they did have with Connie in terms of her voice and the strain and all the rest of it, you're taking the pressure off, and you are, you know, you're having your opportunity at the same time.
Yeah, I feel very lucky, and as I said, if I had to do 8 shows a week, I don't think I'd be able to cope with it, and I think Danielle feels the same, so we kind of feel lucky that we've got each other there. So I help her out by doing the 1 show a week, but then I'm gaining myself from doing that, and it's going to be great.
And she's on the same course that you're on, the arts educational course. What's involved in that?
Well, it's a musical theatre course, like a bachelor's in musical theatre, so we do, you know, everything, acting, singing, every kind of dance you can imagine, ballet, tap, things I've never done ever. Yes, I think if you want to do ballet, start at 3, because I'm struggling a little bit, but I'm a quick learner as well, so, you know, I'm picking
and enjoying every second of it, I guess.
Yes, very much so, yeah.
And Andrew's very much taken sort of an interest, you know, personal interest in how you're getting on with that, isn't he?
Yeah, you know, I speak to him or his PA quite often, and I let them know that I'm really enjoying Arts Ed, and I say thanks to them so many times, because, you know, this opportunity is once in a lifetime, and I'm just so grateful for everything he's doing for me, really.
And I know you were telling me earlier that you're sharing a flat with one of the girls, Steph, who was on the show with you as well. Nice to know that you kept those friendships going, because I suppose a lot of people would probably think that, you know, you're all very nice girls, you know, you're all competing against each other, so there's got to be a little bit of friction and things. But
you would think, and obviously we had a couple of bickers. Whose wrappers left in the kitchen, and, you know, who wasn't cleaning the dishes? But, you know, everything was fine other than that. We were literally best friends, all of us, and me and Steph always said, because we lived in the same room in the Dorothy house together, we said we lived together, and it happened quicker than we thought, and we're enjoying every second together.
And of course she can understand what you're going through, because I mean she was, you know, to a certain extent went through the process as well. How are things going for her? Is
she's doing great. She's not living with us for 5 weeks because she's going off to do pantomime this Christmas, and she's auditioning for things. She's, you know, just trying to keep herself going and do as many things as she can.
And do you all stay in contact? I mean, are you aware of what the others are all doing?
Yeah, we had a big Dorothy get-together the other day, which some girls couldn't make it, but we were all in Covent Garden together, and it was just lovely to, you know, listen to what everyone else is doing, because Lauren's in Greece, Jenny's going into We Will Rock You tour, and just everyone is, you know, really successful, which is brilliant.
It is absolutely fantastic, because I mean there's a lot of knockers of those shows. I mean, a lot of people sort of saying, oh, you know, it's just put out there for the entertainment of the public, you're not really finding the true grit stars of musical theatre of tomorrow. But I mean, you know, it doesn't seem to be that way, because you guys are all, you know, going on from there, aren't you?
Yeah, definitely. That show, it's not just about the winner. It never is. You know, every single one of us out of the 11 finalists are either going to training schools, or in some kind of show somewhere. So we've all literally gained something from it.
Which is absolutely brilliant, and it is getting that legacy for the, you know, 10, 20, 30 years to come, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. It's a brilliant, if you can get yourself on one of these shows, it's such a good platform. You know, people can knock it and say that it's not good, but for someone to get on there and to fulfill their dream, well, there's nothing better.
It's superb, and you all had our vote.
A bit too, can't he? You can sing, you can play, you can write, he's got everything. And he's a nice guy as well, which is...
Sounds like you've got a bit of a crush.
a bit of a bromance brewing, I think. No, he's a lovely guy. You've met him before, haven't you?
I haven't met him personally,
Yeah.
but I went to watch Charlotte at one of her gigs a couple of weeks ago, and he was there playing guitar, and you know, it was great, and her album is brilliant as well, so I'm guessing his is going to be great.
But if you're a fan...
Can we hear it?
Yeah, your album is out on the 3rd, the single is out on the 3rd of January, and his album's coming out on the 24th of January, so catch that when it's out. It's a really good one too.
So you went to see Charlotte in her gig. I mean, you're still in contact with her? Because, I mean, she was a real mentor on the show,
Yeah,
wasn't she?
she was, and I was really chuffed when I found out she was a judge, because I've got a bit of a fan, I'm a fan, like, and so I went to the gig, and afterwards I was allowed to go to her dressing room afterwards, have a chat to her, and she was just really interested in what I'm doing, which was great, and just guiding me a little bit of, you know, how she thinks I should go, and it's really nice that she's still there to support me.
It's great. Well, listen, very, very best of luck with Over the Rainbow. We're going to definitely come down to see you. Thrilled that you've done it. Just to let you know, there's a royal wedding coming up. They're going to be looking for a singer, just to give you fair warning, all right?
Right,
So
okay, I'll keep dates.
Anyway, it's time for us to head home with Toto. But if you want to watch Sophie in The Wizard of Oz at the London Palladium, you can buy the tickets right now.